fast, crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never back down. One shot is do or die, and the odds ain't looking too pretty. But I got the feeling it's my time. I know.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway for the opening race of the 2024 campaign for the NASMAR Community Cup Series. I am NSCS Racing Network, and here joining me in the Hollywood Hotel is Gavin Beers 12.
Thank you. A great race on store for us. This is the fourth season of the NASMAR Community Cup Series, and every year we have seen great racing at Daytona. This is the Great American Race. Kick off a brand new season, and it's going to be amazing.
It sure is. We got 50 laps on hand. 40 cars going to take on this 2.5-mile beast. A lot of them looking for their first ever Daytona 500 trophy. It's going to be a really fun one because we got 50 laps here for these drivers to take on this racetrack. Tyler Reddick, as you may recognize that 45 car as the one who went flying through the infield grass on the back straightaway last summer here for the Coke Zero Sugar 400 NASMAR Community Cup Series race here in Daytona. Quite a wild ride for that 45 car. He's back here in Daytona, though, and he's looking for a sweet redemption on this racetrack. For the one that had one of the most scary crashes we've ever seen in the NASMAR Community Cup Series.
Yeah, terrifying wreck for that 45 car. He went over and over. Scary crash for him, but he's looking for redemption in Daytona.
Yeah, we'll see. And now we see the 71 of Zane Smith. Looks like they're having some problems with that race car. Right now they're going to go behind the wall. Lots of issues for the 71 pre-race here in Daytona. Let's see if they're going to be able to fix that car up by the time we get to the green flag.
Not good for them at all. They've prepared all offseason for this. A brand new team for Trackhouse Inspire Motorsports in that 71 for Zane Smith. This is not how they want to start off their year. Hopefully they can come out of it and get back on track.
Absolutely less than ideal for him, but how about Daniel Suarez? The number 99 Tootsie's Trackhouse Racing machine put the car on pole position here this weekend in Daytona. It's pretty not normal to see a Hendrick driver on the front row, but hey, we got Daniel Suarez, a great super speedway racer, up front here today looking for the Daytona 500 trophy.
And at 6 of Brad Keselowski starting right next to him. These Fords are fast. Keselowski, look at this though. He's got no help up there. A lot of Chevys in the top 6, way up the back. Keselowski's going to be all on his own at the start of this race, but anything can happen. These two on the front are not locked in to win this race. Anything can happen. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just going to be one of the craziest races that we ever see in the NASMAR Community Cup Series. Well, let's go ahead and send it down to the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the rebels we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets erected there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We welcome you back to the Hollywood Hotel. Me and NSCS are here, and we've got picks for this race. For me, I've chosen Ross Chastain. We've seen him in the past be super aggressive, up front at super speedways. As I mentioned before, this is anybody's race, so nobody stands out or falls in line at super speedways. But Ross Chastain, he knows how to be aggressive. He can work his way up to front. He can win the Daytona 500.
Chastain is a fantastic pick. Mine, I think, is going to outdo that. I think the 9 of Chase Elliott is going to have a great shot at winning this race here today. The number 9, always great here in Daytona. We've seen him have a couple close calls up front here for this race, and I think it's going to be a stellar race for him today. I think he's going to be the one doing donuts on the front stretch and celebrating in victory lane when it's all said and done.
Great picks, but anything can happen. So now let's go down and get the command to start the engines in the Great American Race.
Drivers, start your engines!
And now we are going to go to quick commercial break. Right after that, we'll send you up to the booth with ESMN and FireLynx.
It's NASMAR on the FireLynx Racing Network. We are here in Daytona getting ready for the NASMAR Daytona 500, the season opener. It's a big day here for racing, and it's sure to be an exciting event, right, ESMN?
Yes, it definitely will be today. It's beautiful out here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Feeling solid as a rock today, as you can see in my legs. It's going to be a long race today, and I think it'll be definitely fun to see all the action here for Bubba Love.
Well, for those of you who either haven't been following along so far through this week or haven't really watched NASCAR before, here are some of the drivers that you should be on the lookout for. Beginning first, we have the 23 car for 2311 Racing. That's Bubba Wallace, a super speedway specialist. He is looking fast here today in that 23 car.
Next up, we have Ross Chastain. It is a home race for him, for the watermelon farmer. He has looked fast all throughout Speed Week so far. Let's see if he can bring home that Daytona 500 trophy and bring one home for Florida, I guess. Florida man.
Kyle Busch in the number 8, still looking for that Daytona 500 victory that's eluded him for so many years now. Can 2024 be the year he brings it home, or will he miss out once again?
Next up, we have Austin Cindric, the 2022 real-life winner of the Daytona 500. Let's see if he can get his first Daytona 500 ring in NASMAR.
And now the field rolls off for the pace laps before this year's running, the 2024 Daytona 500 here for NASMAR. Here's a look at today's starting lineup. On the pole, it's the 99 of Daniel Suarez, who won his dual race, along with the Dual 2 winner, Brad Keselowski.
Starting in row number 2 is a pair of Hendrick drivers, William Byron on the inside and Chase Elliott on his outside.
Denny Hamlin lines up alongside his own car, not teammates, but Hamlin is the team owner for the 23, that's Bubba Wallace.
Next up in row number 4, we have the 34 of Michael McDowell and the 22 of Joey Logano, 2 drivers you always want to look for on super speedways.
Ross Chastain is alongside Christopher Bell, rounding out the top 10.
Then in row number 6, we have Kyle Busch looking for that Daytona 500 and Todd Gilliland, an underdog here in Daytona. Let's see, maybe he can get it done.
Row 7 is made up of Tyler Reddick and Corey LaJoie, 2 young superstars.
In row number 8, we have the 5 of Kyle Larson, somebody who's always fast. And then we have a rookie this year, John Hunter Nemechek, in the number 42 Legacy Motor Club car.
Behind them, it's Harrison Burton alongside last year's rookie Ty Gibbs in the 54.
Starting the next row, we have Martin Truex Jr., number 19, and then Chris Buescher, somebody who is always fast on super speedways. And the last time we were at Daytona in real life, he ended up winning. Let's see if he can do it in NASMAR this time.
Josh Berry makes his first Daytona 500 start in NASMAR. He starts alongside Austin Cindric today.
Quick correction, Chris Buescher was the 2022 NASMAR Daytona 500 champion. And in the next row, we have rookie Carson Hocevar, and alongside him is returning for the first time since 2019 full-time, Daniel Hemrick in the number 31 Collie car.
J.J. Yaley will be in the Rick Ware Racing 15 today. He starts alongside Chase Briscoe in the 14.
Starting the next row, we have Noah Gragson, who moved over from Legacy Motor Club Stewart-Haas Racing, and in the number 16 car of A.J. Allmendinger.
Behind them, we have the Money Team Racing. It's the 50 car of Connor Daly, and last time we were here in real life, he had a horrible flip, Ryan Preece in the 41.
Then next up, we have our two winners from 2023 last year. We had our NASMAR winner of Jimmy Johnson, number 84, switching over to Toyota this year. Oh my God, what a sin. And then we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a real-life Daytona 500 winner from last season. Let's see if he can get her done in NASMAR this time.
Alex Bowman is the lowest starting Hendrick driver. He starts alongside Austin Hill in the 62.
And starting the next row, we have the 36 car of Riley Earps making his first his Daytona 500 debut, and alongside him is Austin Dillon in the number 3 RCR machine.
Behind them, we have Ryan Blaney starting alongside Justin Haley, who moved to Rick Ware Racing in the offseason.
And finally, we have the 43 of Eric Jones in the number 43 car. And then we have rookie Zane Smith, the number 71 car for Spire.
Zane Smith not starting today's race with an engine issue that was covered in the pre-race by our fellas in the Hollywood Hotel. So we will have a 39 car field for today's race. 50 laps up ahead of us here at Daytona. The stages will be 15, 15, and 20 laps with a fuel window of roughly 16 to 18 laps. So it's going to be tight in that final stage. We will see what happens. Ryan Blaney is our most recent NASMAR Daytona winner. He won the night race last time we were here on the FireLynx YouTube channel. He's looking to defend that, but starts deep in the field here in Daytona as they come around to now enter turns 3 and 4 on these pace laps.
It's going to be a long race here, 50 laps. We'll see who will be able to go the distance here. It's going to be 500 miles of action-packed racing. Definitely don't want to miss it here.
Here comes the field out of turn 4, coming to the green flag. We are racing at Daytona.
Down the Daytona Super Stretch for the first time today, Daniel Suarez leads. William Byron is with the Chevrolets on the bottom, and then here comes Brad Keselowski in the RFK machine, and we have Chase Elliott number 9 as they go into lap number 2.
That bottom line prevails early, and Daniel Suarez leads the opening lap from pole. He has help from William Byron in the 24, who probably you would think wants to get up with his teammate Chase Elliott right now and just get, the teammates established and together. But Brad Keselowski stands in his way as they come across the line to complete the second lap. And already that outside lane is coming forward here with Corey LaJoie.
The important thing about that outside line is really to make sure that they have enough cars, as we see a flyby as they go down the back straightaway, in order to make sure they can get that momentum. Because if they don't have enough cars with the drag of the next-gen car, they'll just fall to the back. As here comes Bo Walsh over to the outside.
Look at that, Brad Keselowski to the lead as that outside line definitely has the numbers we saw there. There's upwards of 6-7 cars up there right now. But that inside line now has some very fast cars leading it. But of course, Bubba Wallace also very fast here today, so we'll see which line can prevail here as that third line starts to die out now.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they lost 2 cars here, but Bo Walsh, definitely a driver you want to look for on the super speedways. He was able to help them get into the playoffs in NASCAR last year, and definitely a good super speedway racer. As we have the field starting to get a little bit strung out here. Brad Keselowski, Daniel Suarez, William Byron leading as the top 3, as they're all just getting pretty strung out. It's early in the race, not much happening as we see Ryan Blaney making his way through the field.
And Blaney's struggled to really go anywhere thus far, made up a couple of spots, but just not moving right now. Could not take advantage of that third line beginning, and he's still stuck far out back, but there's a long way to go, and maybe that is the safer place to be right now, because you never know what could happen here at Daytona. So they're all just settling down right now, trying to get to the end of this opening stage.
As we mentioned before, it is a very long race, so I think they're just trying to currently take it easy at the moment, not trying to pull any big risks. In the famous words of Darrell Waltrip, can they think big picture? And it looks like they finally realized that, as not much movement is going on. Maybe they're trying to form an outside lane, or maybe they're trying to get on line.
Here comes Hamlin.
Here comes Bo Wallace, not Bo Wallace, Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace in 2311, and his team owner Denny Hamlin going to the top lane. Hamlin leads that lap, and they're going to take over control of the lead. Will they come down to the bottom, though? Not quite.
No, they're keeping it up top, and they're making it work with that added momentum from that high line. coming out of the corners. Now they take it up right next to the wall, and they've got a train formed here in Daytona. Man, this looks like 11 years ago.
As they start to get strung out here, let's take a look and listen to the sounds here of the next-gen cars. This is some NASMAR. Crank it up.
Beautiful sound of this next-gen cars. They're still all right up against that wall as we come closer and closer to the end of this opening stage. Denny Hamlin and the Toyotas just dominating this race right now. But really no one's making any moves just yet. We'll probably see them soon here. Probably around 2 to go in the stage. You would have to guess somebody's going to make something happen.
Although we don't see it here in stop motion, we do know that Toyota have redesigned their front noses. Potentially, perhaps that is affecting these Toyota cars and Super Speedways and making them be able to cut through the air easily and get up to the front. As we've seen, they have leading here with Corey LaJoie and Chris Buescher rounding out your top 5.
And those Toyotas, they were strong early on, making that outside line work so effectively. This Denny Hamlin still leads them around, looking for his... Denny Hamlin is one of the best on super speedways, so he'll definitely be strong, and that Toyota certainly could be helping with that new redesigned front nose as they come around to the end of this first stage. 1 lap to go in stage 1 before some early season points get awarded, and here comes the first move from Chris Buescher on the bottom.
We are coming to the end of the stage here. Denny Hamlin blocked as they go down. Now, oh!
Whoa!
Getting very loose there. As Chris Buescher is going to take advantage of Denny Hamlin's late move, and Chris Buescher will win this first stage, followed by a bunch of Fords.
Chris Buescher takes stage 1. Now let's head down for a race break at the Hollywood Hotel.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hollywood Hotel for the Stage 1 segment here. Chris Buescher, your Stage 1 winner. A late move for the Stage 1 victory. Bold and ambitious, but the 17 car looking good out front here in Daytona.
And this isn't even a taste of this race yet. This stage is just logging laps, 15 laps long, just trying to get to the end. All these teams want to have a chance in it in the end, and these Toyotas will definitely have a chance at it in the end. The top 3, Hamlin, Reddick, and Bubba Wallace, are the main standouts in this Toyota campaign, but they are looking great for the end of this race.
Absolutely. Hamlin always won good here at Daytona, but now let's go ahead and send it down to the pit reporters on pit road to cover the late-breaking stories.
Austin Enriquez then for 4 tires and fuel, seeing car's good.
Chase Briscoe will take 4 tires and fuel and reports that the car is a bit too loose for his liking.
Chris Buescher won stage number 1. He's going to take 4 tires and fuel with no adjustments.
Thanks, guys. Here's your race off pit road. Noah Gragson gets off in front of Chris Buescher. They will lead the field back to the green when we return for stage 2 here at Daytona. Hello and welcome everyone back to the Daytona 500. Unfortunately, ESMN is experiencing mic problems, so we'll try to get him back in here as soon as we can, but for now it's just me up here in the booth as we get ready to come around to stage number 2 here in the Daytona 500. Another 15 laps up ahead and we are racing. Down into turns 1 and 2, and now onto the back straightaway. Still dead even between Noah Gragson in the 10 and Chris Buescher in the 17. Now Gragson edges ever so slightly ahead, and now Buescher gets the push, and they're all leveled out once again, but Gragson will end up leading the lap as now he's getting help on that bottom line. Noah Gragson lost his ride at Legacy Motor Club as a big block there. Wow, and that allows Tyler Reddick to go to the lead as Chris Buescher was very sideways there. And now it's Reddick with help from Toyota teammate Bubba Wallace. And they are going to the front here at Daytona. See a flyby of the field, and now Gregson with help on the outside. Going to try to edge back in front. Can't quite do it. They're still dead even through turns 3 and 4. Now trouble. Chris Buescher into the wall. He hits the outside wall, slides back down, hits the grass, does a little jump up into the air as the front end digs in, and the 17 is out. Chris Buescher, an unfortunate way to end his day after winning the opening stage and running so strong here early on. He's going to have nothing but a last place finish to show for it. I guess second to last, since the 71 is out of the race. Chase Briscoe, the culprit in this one, I believe, as he was, looks like he just got into him. And the 17 was in the wall, and that was that. Hard impact with the grass there, too. I mean, that car jumped. Look at that. Wow. Violent crash here at Daytona. Chris Buescher is out of the race. We'll be right back to Daytona after this. The remains of the 17 machine for RFK Racing being towed away after a crash here in Stage 2. Welcome back, everyone, to Daytona as the field is lining up now for a restart here. This is going, things may pick up here because, we're closer to the end of the stage. Now we have a restart. A lot of people still in it to win it. And we're getting closer and closer to the end of this race, of course. So people are going to try to position themselves now so they can be in a good spot for that final stage as we are back green once again. There we go, 3 wide. Chase Briscoe to the outside with help from Austin Cindric. The Toyotas, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace now have help from Denny Hamlin, their team owner, as they come out of turn number 4. People trying to position themselves now for stage 2 and the pit stop at the end of the stage, because this is going to become a fuel mileage race in stage 3 with no cautions. And on top of that, here comes Ryan Blaney on the outside. He is going for the lead, 3 wide for the lead here at Daytona. But as I was saying, this has been a huge track position race so far, and you want that track position for this final stage to position yourself for the win. You see everyone going for it. Still 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Nobody giving an inch. Blaney leads that lap. He won last time we were here at Daytona in NASMAR. Can he do it again? Joey Logano behind him. The Penske teammates. Austin Cindric is there as well. I'm sure he wants to get up in this too. As Blaney a little bit sideways there. As Austin Cindric into the wall. Cars spinning and crashing. The big one is a huge hit there for Austin Cindric. And we are under caution once again for a violent accident. Oh, man. Big hits there for some of these guys, and a lot of cars taken out of the race. You see Josh Berry, Joey Logano, Noah Gragson, who's been up front most of the day, Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell, Austin Hill, Ryan Preece is also involved. He should be coming up. There he is. He had another grass dig-in sort of thing like Chris Buescher had. I don't really know what to call it. Keselowski, there's Nemechek, Stenhouse, Daly. Austin Cindric got out and then just dropped to the ground. We'll have to see if he's okay. But it's scary hit for the 2 car. Straight into where that wall ends. Well, Tyler Reddick is your race leader right now in the 45 car. Strong day so far for him. All the Toyotas have been really strong here. As second place, though, Chase Briscoe has emerged as a strong contender as well here in these last couple of laps. He will finish second here in stage number 2, which will come to an end because of this wreck, so Tyler Reddick will pick up a stage win as well. Bubba Wallace has been really good in that 23 car. All 3 of the Toyotas, Reddick, Bubba, and Hamlin, have been really fast today and are, at this point, the favorites to win the Daytona 500, if I do say so myself. I mean, they have just been so strong. They led the field, had a line going up on the outside, and really the only time they were challenged today and actually beaten was by Chris Buescher there at the end of the stage. Other than that, they have been insurmountable. Of course, rounding out the top 5, Jimmy Johnson in the 84 car. He won last season's NASMAR Daytona 500. Can he repeat here? That would be crazy if he could do so. We'll take a quick break and be right back after this. Here's a look at what happened as we return here to Daytona. The big one strikes, taking out a bunch of cars there. I mean, track's essentially blocked, and that huge hit, oh my goodness. Yeah, Blaney got sideways. That's the hit from Cindric. Cindric tried to get up in front of Blaney, probably to get with his teammates, and he just wasn't clear. Now so many cars out of this race, but we're going to head on down to pit road for some stops.
Bubba Wallace seeing the car is good, but when Lewis had to take both tires and fuel.
Chase Briscoe has struck perfection in the 14, so 4 tires and fuel only for him.
Tyler Reddick coming off the stage to win likes his car 4 tires and a full tank of Sunoco fuel is the call from crew chief Billy Scott.
Chase Briscoe wins the race off of pit road. Tyler Reddick in second, Bubba Wallace third, Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. Ton of damage on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. As you can see there, that car is patched up. But we have an exciting final stage still up ahead of us for everyone still left on track. Chase Briscoe leads the way. He will be alongside Tyler Reddick with Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin behind him, Chase Elliott and Riley Herbst in row 3, row 4, Jimmy Johnson and Todd Gilliland after pit stops. They now come around turn 4 to get the green flag, and we are racing again for the final stage, and it's dead even as they head down towards turn 1.
Going down the back stretch, let's see, Tyler Reddick has the advantage here. He has his team owner, Denny Hamlin, to get a beautiful flyby of the field. Going even as Chase Briscoe is going to slightly break ahead as they go to the next lap.
A 19 to go on this restart. It's ridiculously close on fuel. That big one coming out a few laps earlier before the end of the stage is really going to, cause a bit of trouble for these guys on fuel, because it means we're restarting a bit earlier than we normally would in the stage. So we'll have to see if people pit or if they stay out and try to stretch it on fuel here, because they're probably about 1 lap short, we're hearing from most people. Bubba Wallace.
Let's see how strategy goes out. And here comes the Toyotas. Ty Gibbs is in.
Yeah, just splash and goes for all these guys. They're going to come back out. Can those Toyotas make up the lost time on this pack, who has to save a massive amount here? We're about to find out. This is going to be a wild strategy ending here in Daytona. There are the Toyotas. They're about
caution would put them right up at the front, and they don't really want to have to worry about maybe a few cars stretching it, and then they win by about a quarter of a lap. As you see, that outside lane has died down a little bit over the past few laps. As Chase Briscoe taking the lead here with Chase Elliott and former Chevrolet driver Jimmy Johnson in the top 3.
And that outside line is going to be real tough to keep going here, as everyone in this pack is probably going half throttle behind Briscoe, trying to save all the fuel they can. That really helps the Toyotas as well, though, because this pack is going to be, probably a bit slower than those Toyotas who can make it to the end on fuel and are pushing like hell right now to try to get to the finish.
And Chase Briscoe really probably does not want to be the leader, even though he is leading and has a chance to win the Daytona 500, because with him leading, he has to go full throttle because he's the one that's leading. So with him going full throttle, he's probably the one that's burning the most fuel out of all these drivers, minus probably the JGR guys. They're probably going full song, and the rest of the field can probably go about half to 3/4 throttle because they're in the draft, because they can rely on the draft to keep them going to get a look on the Toyotas as they're now about turn 4 as they're at the back straightaway.
Definitely gaining a little bit of time on the back of the pack, those Toyotas are. But, I mean, you saw it right there. They are full song right now, pretty much tandeming each other. Look at Ty Gibbs. I mean, that's not quite tandeming. And all the debris on the grill of the 14.
Debris on the 14 to Chase Briscoe. He's gonna have to drop back, because if he does not get that off, that is a massive piece of debris. Potentially could have come off of Ryan Blaney, because we saw he had the tape on the front of his car. And he needs to get that off, or else that engine is going to expire sooner rather than later.
Let's head down to the pits now with a report on Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe reporting temperatures rapidly climbing with that debris, so this could be detrimental to the Daytona 500 hopes.
Thanks for that report. Briscoe overheating now, the water pouring out of that car. He has to drop to the back, and his Daytona 500 chances may be over. You know what they say, the leader cleans the track for everyone, and that is now shaking up the pack as Jones and Chastain make moves.
Eric Jones come up to the top, just carrying that outside line, as now we have the Legacy Motor Club cars come up to the front against Chase Elliott.
Jimmy Johnson to the lead. Oh my goodness, he's sideways. There goes Eric Jones. Jones on the outside trying to make something happen, and the caution is now out for debris as a big move from Chastain, but the pack is going to have to slow down here. The field is frozen. There's a piece of debris on the front straightaway. I think that's what came off of the grill of Chase Briscoe. This changes everything late in the going. We're going to take a quick break here at Daytona, and when we return, we'll be down at the Hollywood Hotel. Be right back.
Hello everyone and welcome to Hollywood Hotel. We're here right after the debris caution where the piece of debris came off the 14 of Chase Briscoe, greatly impacting his great run here in this race, and he's almost out of contention, but we got a couple laps to go, so anything can happen here in Daytona.
A lot of drivers being aggressive at the front of this. The one of Ross Chastain next to him is the 38 of Todd Gilliland. We've seen these drivers be crazy and making big moves up at the front. They want to win this race, as well as the 43 of Eric Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. And Austin Cindric, who had that really hard hit earlier in this race, he has concussion-like symptoms, a terrible crash for the 2 car, and he is not looking good right now, but we are hoping that he is okay and ready to get back racing next week.
Yeah, scary for him. That was a massive hit to the inside wall. Hope he'll be able to recover and get back soon. But that was a big crash. Great to see that he is all right.
Yeah, absolutely is. Chastain and Gilliland at the front of this field, ripping around the corners here on the pace laps, getting ready to go back green for the Great American Race here in Daytona.
Thank you for that, NSCS. Getting ready for the restart, as previously mentioned by the Hollywood Hotel. It's Chastain and Gilliland on the front row for this restart. Only 2 laps remain in the Daytona 500, and a lot of fast, aggressive drivers up at the front. There's Eric Jones, look to the outside, AJ Allmendinger, as well as Jimmy Johnson and Riley Herbst in row number 3. This is going to be one crazy finish here to the NASMAR Daytona 500 in 2024. Who is going to get it? As we prepare for the restart, the field entering turn number 3. So much can still happen. Ross Chastain, the leader. Todd Gilliland in second. Row 2 is Eric Jones and AJ Allmendinger. Row 3, Jimmy Johnson and Riley Herbst. Here they come, green flag.
2 laps to go here at Daytona. Anything can happen. Everybody's going to get desperate. They're going to want to win the Daytona 500. Todd Gilliland leads the Daytona 500 as he goes now down the bottom lane.
If they make it to the white flag, the race will be official. Up to block, contact, crashing.
Oh,
Todd Gilliland flipping violently. A terrifying accident, and the caution is back out. horrible accident there for Todd Gilliland. The car flipping violently. And we're back under red flag conditions with Chastain the leader.
Todd Gilliland takes one of the wildest rides in Daytona 500 history, shades of Ryan Newman all the way back in 2003. Let's hope he's okay after getting loose off the bumper of the 16 car, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
And just tumbled, just dug it, just flipped over and then dug into the grass. It's shades of pretty much every wreck ever from Daytona that involves a flip.
Yeah, you never like to see cars just dig in like that. A scary crash. AJ Allmendinger getting towed away. The 16 car is done and out of this race. And of course, the 38 car is as well. As you just see the absolute carnage on that 38 car. I mean, it got absolutely just decimated in this accident when it dug in, tore off the entire fender, ripped the suspension pretty much apart, and the entire front wheels are, not in the right place anymore. Just a frightening crash. You never like to see things like that at Daytona. You can't stop them. They happen. But it's glad to see that he walked away at the same time. We saw 2 crashes like that. This sort of reminded me of those. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell here last time we were here at Daytona. Frightening grass flips on the back straightaway in that race. Another thing this reminds me of at Daytona's sister track, Talladega, on our Hollywood Hotel Reporters channel, NSCS Racing Network. Kyle Larson went for a massive barrel roll through the tri-oval at Talladega in the playoffs last year here in NASMAR. Looks a lot like that, doesn't it? Anyways, we'll step aside here at Daytona. Have you ever wondered how you could watch every single race of the Pepsi Cup Series and have them all at your fingertips? Scroll down to the playlist tabs and then select the season playlist of your choosing and then select the race in which you wish to watch. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and enjoy all of the racing action here on the FireLynx Racing Network. Welcome back to the Daytona 500, getting ready for overtime, but before we do that, let's head down to pit road as we have some late pit stops here for the leaders.
The number 1 machine going to come down pit road, piloted by Ross Chastain. No tires, just a splash of fuel to get him out quick.
Thanks, MLCS. Race off pit road. It's Chastain staying in front. However, he will not be leading the field to the green here, as those Toyotas did stay out. So this will be an interesting race here to the finish, as Ross Chastain, the highest driver who pitted, he starts 6th behind these Toyotas, who have been so fast today. Look out for them as they're coming around to the green flag here at Daytona. Overtime, green flag.
And as they go through the speedy trial in the trial, Bubba Wallace leads the Daytona 500. Can he get his first Daytona 500 ring as they go into turns number 3 for the second to last time as they come to take the white flag here for the Daytona?
Final lap. Here comes Eric Jones on the outside. Does Bubba do anything? He does. He blocks. He goes into the wall, and he's out of it. Crash in the back. Who cares? Never mind. Jones sideways. Hamlin slides. Eric Jones has won the Daytona 500.
Getting support from his Toyota allies, Eric Jones will win the 2024 NASMAR Daytona 500. What a story. Legacy Motor Club's first race for Toyota, as we see a bunch of cars tore up in the back. 2 of the Chevys, and then Ryan Blaney, who has fought through probably the most adversity today. Finally, the car is done. Unfortunate end for Blaney's day. Anyways, that's it for me and ESMN, as we are now going to head down to the Hollywood Hotel to finish things off here from Daytona after a spectacular race.
Back at the Hollywood Hotel, you just saw the ending of the Great American Race. Eric Jones comes out on top. It was a fantastic finish. We saw a big wreck on the back straightaway, and ultimately, the 84 of Jimmy Johnson pushing his teammate in the 43 of Eric Jones to the win of the Daytona 500.
Cool is that? The Guns N' Roses car going to go to victory lane here in Daytona for the 43 of Eric Jones. What a great race for him. We saw Todd Gilliland flip here on the last couple laps. He was one of the most aggressive cars all race long, and it ends in a smashing, crushing blow for him as he flips through the infield grass here in Daytona.
Yeah, that was scary. We talked about him being so aggressive as well as the 43. It's what you have to do. It's what you sign up for when you race at Daytona. You have to be so aggressive to win. That's what happens when you're late in the race here.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got a couple guys like Chris Buescher, your Stage 1 winner, who wrecked out early in this race, so not a good finish for him. He finishes last of the running cars here. Like I said, Zane Smith did not start this race, so Buescher going to be the last one of the running cars in the running order. And then you saw Byron and a couple other cars there pile up on the backstretch in a last lap wreck.
See the 84 of Jimmy Johnson, as I mentioned, he pushed his 43 teammate of Eric Jones to the win. That 84, remember, is not running full time, so if he can get a win for his team, that would be huge. Now 43 so far is locked into the playoffs after the first race.
Yeah, absolutely great for Legacy Motor Club. Something we didn't really see happening coming into this season, but it's a great job from Eric Jones and Jimmy Johnson to score some good points here today and put them in a really good spot. So Jimmy Johnson with a fantastic finish here. You see the 36 of Riley Herbst, who has a decent day today, but just disappointing. He was expecting a lot more out of this 36 car. Hopefully next time out, he'll be able to do something more.
Yeah, top 10 for him in one of his first Cup starts. That's great for that 36 machine. He's running part-time schedule this year, but this is a great way to get it started.
Yeah, absolutely. Great for him. And then you see the 14 of Chase Briscoe. Such a what-if situation for the 14 car. Got taken out with the debris on the grill. Got to be so frustrating for him. Running up front late here in Daytona, and then getting taken out because of something completely out of your control has got to just be so frustrating for the 14 car.
Oh, absolutely. He was so aggressive early.
Absolutely, no doubt. But that is going to do it from the Hollywood Hotel. On my behalf, I want to thank you guys all so much for coming out to the Daytona 500. It means a lot to us, and I know it means a lot to Ethan. So thank you guys so much, and thanks to Ethan for having me out here for the Hollywood Hotel.
Yeah, fantastic race. What a way to start the season. The Great American Race, no bigger way, and the 43 comes out on top. Huge for this season and huge for that team. Eric Jones wins the Great American Race.
Thank you guys all for coming out here in Daytona. On behalf of myself and Gavin Beers 12, thank you guys so much for watching. And that's going to do it from the Hollywood Hotel. Back up to the booth with Ethan and ESMN.
And lastly, thanks to NSCS, Gavin Beers, MLCS, NLS, Cheese-itz, and of course Carmit. That was our crew for today. Thank you all for watching this race as well. This was crazy. It took several months to make. This race was absolutely wild. If you enjoyed, make sure to look out next week on Northwest Cup Series channel for Race 2 from Atlanta. And of course, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, just consider liking and subscribing, because you know it's free. Using that lame excuse that every YouTuber uses, but it's alright. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reused, reproduced, or retransmitted in any way without the written consent of NASMAR broadcasting unless it's for an intro. NASMAR would like to thank all of its fans and supporters, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.